Hi guys. Um, I'm gonna this video is gonna be really short. I hope it's gonna be short. It's just really a clarification on the video that I made on yesterday entitled "Christianity is a Weapon." Now, um, a friend of mine uh, brought to my attention when I spoke of denouncing Jesus Christ and a lot of that whole understanding of the way that it has been taught to we black here in America from slavery, passed down through our ancestors of Christianity. That concept that I said that we needed to denounce. Um, let me say this. Let me see how I can fix this because I have a lot of friends from the islands. I have a lot of friends from Africa and things like that. And the first thing that my friends from Africa and from the islands, and for anyone from Africa, from the islands that are listening, what you need to understand is that some kind of way you all have kept and have had, and I understand Africa, but oh, let's see if my tape got stuck. See if it's gonna stick itself. Okay, there it is. Now, um, the thing that you all need to understand, and I understand how Africa kept a lot of their stuff, but the more people that I meet from the islands, I see as well that they have kept a lot of the original African culture as well. Over here in America, that stuff got so lost with us. Whether it got beat out, whether it got scared out, whether it just, by uh, people's own will that they just dropped their African heritage and customs and all that stuff just through generations or however it was done. We here in America, as Black Americans, do not have the connection, and any connection that we might have is very small and has been lost. So let's get back to what my clarification on this video. And what you all need to understand is that the concept of Christ, Jesus Christ, was different when it was given to the slaves. It was a white man, blonde hair, blue eyes, sitting up in the sky, the whole thing. The teachings of Christianity on love and um, loving your enemy, turn the other cheek, and all that. What you all need to know that I understand is that I understand those concepts. I understand the concept of love. I understand of not being aggressive and violent and all this. I understand that in the aspect of love. I understand that. But what you need to understand is that when it was taught to slaves, and when it was taught here in America by slave masters, it was for a reason. It wasn't just, oh, you need to love and you need to be kind and sweet and, turn the other cheek. It was so that they wouldn't rise up against the slave master. That's what the teachings was for. Of course, I know you're supposed to love. Of course, I know you're supposed to be kind, you know. But like I'm saying, the understanding that the Africans and those from the islands, a lot of the islands, most of the islands have, is different than what we have over here. So let me just tell you exactly what I'm saying. when I talk about denouncing Jesus Christ, I am not talking about the way that we understand it in Rastafari. I am Rastafari. I follow His Imperial Majesty, Empress Menen, the teachings um, of that, the original teaching. I mean, everything that I know about Rastafari, I love, and I do my best to follow it and adhere to it. So I understand that in Rastafari, we serve a black God. We serve we believe in a black Jesus. We also believe in His Imperial Majesty. Now, how I break that down and all that would have to be in another video, that understanding. So when I speak of denouncing Jesus Christ, when I speak of, not adhering completely to the Bible, I do read the Bible. That's another thing you need to understand. I do read the Bible. I read the prophecies. I read most of the prophets. I read the Psalms. I read the Proverbs. I read the Revelation. Those things that I believe have been put in there, the Genesis, a lot of the stories that we know, a lot of that stuff was just made up. And just a lot of the writings of Paul, a lot of the writings that they say come from Matthew and Mark and all this stuff. There's a lot of confusion, even with the dates and the times and all of that stuff. So I'm not telling anyone else not to read that. What I'm telling you is, like I always tell you guys, do your own research. Me, myself, I still might look at it every now and again, but for the most part, I'm sticking with the words of the prophets, the Proverbs, and Psalms, and the Revelation. That's me. That's what I personally do. My reasoning for doing that is my own personal reasoning. My whole belief in the Bible and all of that about the Bible would be a whole nother video. So I would tell you, do your own research about that, and research the Bible itself. One thing that I can say about the Bible is that it's not a book that you need to just take whole complete faith in and just leave it at that, and that's it. you know this is another thing that they told the slaves when we came over here. First of all, we weren't even supposed to read it. That you got that old issue. The Bible is not a complete book. The Bible is, there are a lot of missing books. I suggest you find those books, find those lost books. Matter of fact, there is a book called The Lost Books of the Bible. It's an excellent book. I believe I still have a copy, I may have to get a new copy. But it is an excellent book. It talks about all of these books of Enoch, books of Adam and Eve, books of creation. There's all kind of books in there. The Apocrypha, the what is that other one? See, because I do this stuff just out of my head, it's hard for me to remember all of these different books. But go back and find and research these different books that have been taken out of the Bible, and for whatever reason they were taken out. They were original books that were supposed to be in there, and just books that are just not complete. You need to find those. You need to read those. Get a handle on those. Anyway, getting back to white Jesus. I do not believe in a white Jesus. I do believe and I do serve a black God. And so, like I say, that is the understanding that my island friends, my African friends, and even those here in America need to understand that when I denounced Jesus Christ, it was the blonde hair, blue-eyed, deity in the sky that is made up, if you ask me, of so many other deities like Zeus, Hercules, and Serapis. You know, all of this, you know, was that made up deity Christ, Jesus Christ, in the concept of what they gave us over here in America. You understand? Now, uh, what I believe as far as the teachings of Rastafari and Jesus and the Ethiopian church and original Christianity. I'm not talking about that when I talk about I'm denouncing that. I'm not talking about that. That's a matter of fact, I I don't go into that because I know a lot of Black Americans don't understand that. They don't have that concept. A lot of them reject that. Most African Americans, when you start talking to them about a black God and everything, they're going to reject that. They're going to say that's idol worship. They're going to say we Rastafari worshiping and believing in and understanding who His Imperial Majesty was, as far as being God to us on earth. They're going to reject that. They're not, you know what I'm saying? They don't understand that because all they've been given is white Jesus. So that's something that would have to be, that they would have to really go into themselves, find that understanding, find the truth of that, and begin to look into that themselves. So like I say, most of them, most of them don't even know that concept. So I understand why my uh, Rasta friend, he was a bit concerned about what I was saying about denouncing Jesus Christ. And, he's an elder, so I respect him. And I just wanted basically to come in and clarify what I was trying to say. And also maybe for someone else who may have been confused. But I think most of the people here in America and from America, Black people, they're going to understand what I'm talking about. I'm not denouncing our Rastafari Black God, our concept of how we know Jesus. The whole line of David, trust me, I'm good on that. I believe that. I understand that. But when I speak, I'm speaking in two ways. I'm I'm speaking from the understanding that I have, and I also have to speak in another way where other people who are listening, who may not be at the level that I am, understand as well. So to end this video, the concept that I'm speaking of when I talked about denouncing Christ and church and all of the kind of stuff that I put in that video, it is talking about a white Jesus, white Christ, white concept of God, you know? So, um, I don't know if I could do that. I mean, a lot of times when, I probably can put the link up there. I said I was going to put the link to Sizzla's song about I don't serve a white God. There's no white God. You know what I'm saying? So for all of us who know that song, I got that. I understand that. So I'm going to see if I could put that link up there. Hope they won't say anything about copyright stuff. But anyway, I thank you all for listening. I thank you all for supporting and subscribing to me. And I hope that you all have a great day, and I hope you have a great week. Until the next video, see you next time.